When you're single, it's easy to feel like you are not complete, that you're missing out on something everyone else has, that something's wrong with you because you can't get into a relationship. But that is a lie. Rom-coms and society has taught us that we need someone to make us whole. But that's simply not the truth. You are still complete when you're single. I just think about rom-coms, and they've taught, especially a lot of young women, but single people everywhere, that we need someone, right? Every princess has her Prince Charming. Every high school movie is about a girl who ends up with a cool jock. We never see a movie that's about a girl who is just happy being single and finding herself and hanging out with her friends. I guess that's not interesting enough to make a movie out of. But what that teaches us is that we all dream for that ultimate moment where someone confesses to us and we fall in love with someone and we get together with our dream person. We think that's a milestone that we need to reach in our life, when simply it's just one milestone that can happen to you, but it's not the ultimate achievement of your life. We've all started to believe that once we find that perfect person for us, we will be complete. But that's really not the case. If you ask anyone who's been dating or who's been married for a long time, you know that actually the opposite is true. No matter who you end up with, they are not going to be the perfect person for you. That doesn't exist. No matter how perfect they are on paper, if they check all the qualifications, they will still inevitably disappoint you, and you will still disappoint them. And really, a long term relationship is all about learning how to love the other person, how to try to change to be better for the other person, how to be more patient. And basically, because two people are so different, a relationship is held up on those two people constantly trying to change and trying to love each other better and be better for the other person. It doesn't come easy. The person that you start to date will not be perfect for you. It's a daily choice to continue to commit to the relationship, to try to be better and be a better partner. But that person will not complete you. They are a flawed person, just like you. And the problem with this is that now when we're single, we are always waiting for our time to come. We are waiting for that perfect partner. And that results in us never being content when we are single because all we want is a partner. All we wait for is that ultimate moment where we finally get what we've always wanted. And I get it. Being single is hard. Being single is lonely. You want someone to take care of you when you're sick, to celebrate your birthday, to love you. We all want to be loved. But I really believe that you are already loved. I believe that God loves you. And I haven't said this before, I'm Christian, and I don't want to force you to believe, and I'm not trying to force this on anyone, but I really do think that there's a God who loves you and has a plan for you and has his best for you. And so everything in your life happens for a reason. You are single right now for a reason, and that's just your plan. And I don't think you necessarily will be single forever, but I think that right now when you are single, it's better to enjoy that period of time instead of constantly being sad and waiting for that time to come when you will date. And I say this because I was single for the first 24 years of my life, and I was really sad through all of it. I constantly wanted a boyfriend. I wished that someone would like me. I would cry myself to sleep thinking, why won't anyone like me? Why am I not good enough? And now that I am dating, I look back on that time of my life and I really wish that I had just been more happy and just enjoyed my friends, enjoyed my community, my family, my career, had time to travel and experience so much. Because ultimately, I did find my person, and I'm really happy now. But I could have been happy back then too. My time did come eventually. Also, I think when you're single, you have so much flexibility and time that you can use to build friendships and relationships that you don't get as much once you start dating. And if you eventually get married and have kids, that time just gets harder and harder to have. So I think it's just better to enjoy your time being single and just trust that your time will come if it's meant to, instead of being really sad through the whole time period. And so if you're single, I really encourage you to think about all the things that you've been taught about love and dating from society, from the rom-coms, from your parents. Maybe your parents are pressuring you to date right now. And think about what is actually correct and right to and good to believe. Because I think society And history of evolution and marriage would really came about because women couldn't provide for themselves and men wanted to bear an heir. There were a lot of like survival reasons also to have to find a partner. And so, as cultures developed, a lot of pressure was put on someone finding a spouse, and so that they would be able to like have security and safety and continue their family line. And so I think that sort of bled into this pressure of like society expecting you to find a partner because that's sort of ingrained in our humanity of wanting to survive and keep producing people. But there's no obligation for you to be in a relationship. You are perfectly whole as you are. You are not lesser if you are single, and being in a relationship is hard work too. So I think there's definitely benefits of being single that I hope you can enjoy. I know it's hard. I know also I'm dating right now, so it probably doesn't mean very much for someone to say enjoy being single when I'm not single, but I do understand what it's like because, like I said, I went through it for 24 years, so I understand it. I know it's hard, and I just wish that I had someone who told me to think about it differently in the past. Oh, my balloon fell down. So best of luck to everyone. I know it's hard. Comment down below how you're feeling about things, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!